Alright, now I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but what if the next League of Legends champion is a VTuber? Okay, hear me out. I know it's far-fetched, but there's a distinct possibility that one of League of Legends' next upcoming champions has been discovered. A girl named Seraphine, aka Sarah.Wave. Real quick, who is she? Seraphine is apparently a bright new young artist who produces music and writes songs. As of right now, she has a sample of a beat she's currently working on her Twitter and has a cover of the song Childhood Dreams. Both are very well produced and honestly quite impressive pieces of work, and even if this theory ends up being wrong, please take a listen and appreciate her craft. Now, incredibly talented music artist aside, Seraphine also makes pictures of herself, and I do say makes. She actually catalogs a lot about her life with constant updates and pictures of what she's doing, but they're all clearly rendered images of a young pink-haired woman with simulated child photos to boot. This is quite interesting as it appears that this artist is not only producing great music, but is showing off themselves as a drawn person. And to lend even more credibility to this, one person actually comments that this is a beautiful art piece, but she immediately refutes it, claiming that it's actually her. In a way, this sort of coverage of a virtual musician isn't actually that different than, say, Hatsune Miku, who is arguably the progenitor of virtual performers. These are all the things you can easily observe for yourself on her Twitter and other social medias, so everything after this point is basically purely speculation. See, all of this is really cool, and normally when someone showed this to me, I would have just ended it there. But however, one picture in particular was quite interesting to me. This is just a normal picture of her and her cat named Bao, but right there, you see that? That's Tibber's, Annie's stuffed bear, and it's basically identical to the one sold on the Riot merch store. Now, this might just be a cool way to introduce what games this Seraphine might play if she ever decided to stream. After all, she later just responds to a question asking about League of Legends, saying that she liked the game. But what if it could be something more? Now, I'll fully admit to enjoying virtual performers, so I gave it a follow and that was that. Until someone started pulling more information together. Now, I'd really like to give every person who's contributed to this theory their proper credit, but unfortunately it's been a whirlwind of information. So instead, unfortunately for now, I'm going to be linking a thread made by Alif over on Reddit, who compiled a bunch of the information to one easily to read thread. So, the first right here is a comparison post between some of the art styles that Riot has used in their various other pursuits, as well as the shots that we currently have of Seraphine. Now, out of all these, I really want to draw attention to the True Damage one. True Damage, just prior to their song release, did a collection of tweets and images, most of which you can see further into Jason Chan's ArtStation, which I'll link here. You'll also notice that the style of blended reality and drawn image is almost identical to what you see across both forms here. So, is this implying that there is some sort of connection with the True Damage universe? Next, let's take a listen to her song. Now, you'll notice I actually can't play it here or risk demonetization, and that's because the original song is actually being covered by her, and the original song itself is actually licensed by United Music Publishing Group. Now, this isn't just particularly interesting on its own. However, note that just recently, Riot signed a partnership with a company to produce 6 new songs for the League of Legends World Finals. And a majority of these artists that were being contacted were actually mostly Chinese, as the Worlds this year is taking place in China. So why exactly is China relevant? Well, Seraphine as a name really doesn't have any sort of Chinese naming scheme or history, at least not that I found. But that cat I mentioned before, that cat's name is Bao, which is actually Chinese for precious or jewel. So, I know what you're thinking. What does this even mean? China doesn't even exist in Valorant. How does this mean that Seraphine is going to be a League of Legends character? Well, you see, that's just the thing. League of Legends actually does have a skin line that exists in our reality. Recall the True Damage pictures I talked about earlier. Throughout social media of them traveling on their jet and getting ready for the performance last year, they were being shown as explicitly in Paris, as it was reality for them. That means within the KDA, True Damage, Pentakill universes, which we already know are connected, they actually are a part of our reality. They are a part of Earth, not Valorant. So when this new musician suddenly arrives talking about how they're a part of our reality, while clearly drawn in the same style as True Damage art pieces, you have to wonder, is Seraphine going to be a musician in this sort of music universe of League of Legends? Now, it all sort of lines up too, right? Because think about it, Senna's release skin was the True Damage Senna right after Worlds last year. If they're investing this much into music and producing 6 new songs, it completely stands to reason that they might do the same thing with a new champion getting a music-based skin right after Worlds again. Now, let's actually assume this is truly a League of Legends character count being made for preparation of Worlds 2020. I can't help but feel this is an incredibly ingenious way to show off a character. Having them constantly make content, sell their relatability to us through their daily adventures, it's really interesting. So, how about this, guys? One more called shot, okay? Right now, on her pinned tweet, she has a beat that is honestly pretty sick. Let me play it for you right now. Now, she says she's chipping away at a song, and that she doesn't know what she wants to do with it. Now, what kind of arc would it be if this beat goes on to be the beat of one of the 6 songs that are being produced for Worlds? Then we can see her journey as a beginning indie artist right now, as she eventually gets discovered by one of these big groups, and then eventually her song can then be brought to the world stage. This is even perfectly in theme for a lot of the stuff that's already happened in the music universe of League of Legends, because Akali already is a talent scout for musicians, and that's how True Damage was formed, and we already have a famous producer like Yasuo, who clearly is already quite established in the producing industry, who could easily be a setup hook for her to be discovered. This is actually so fascinating, because now we get to see a sort of miniature look at the indie themes of musicians in the League of Legends universe, which is honestly something that I never really had thought to ask for, but I'm still quite fascinated and excited to see it. So, end of the day, might just be a crazy theory leading into Worlds, and just for the sake of argument, let's do the opposite. Let's assume that we're wrong and this is just a bunch of coincidences that happened to line up. Let's celebrate that we have a new and incredibly talented artist, singer, and producer. Regardless if they're a real person or a League of Legends character, I have to say I'm extremely excited and I can't wait to see their first original song release. But anyways, that's it for me. Unfortunately, I'm still in the middle of moving and working right now, so I have to do only small videos like this for now. But when I come back, I'll be sure to sort of update you guys on anything else I find, both on Seraphine as well as, of course, my LOR content. But until then, though, guys, if you like this sort of content, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It lets me know what sort of things you guys are really enjoying. But until then, I will see you guys next time. Peace out.